Good morning, everyone. It's Anifa Menon from hearthealthbrainhealth.com, encouraging healthy grieving and mindful actions. Today, my morning walk was filled with contemplation about the exciting things that just kind of happen when you just feel this sense of, I know I've got to do this. So I don't know if you've had any of these experiences, and I suspect you have. I came across this quotation, of course, which I felt to me really defined how I was thinking this morning or what I was contemplating this morning. This quotation says, "If the path be beautiful, let us not ask where it leads." It's by Anatole France. If the path be beautiful, let us not ask where it leads. And I can tell you that, of course, I was on a trail this morning. It was a beautiful path, and I'm not asking where it leads. I am just totally enjoying the path because I really enjoy being out in nature and just seeing what is to be seen. So whether I'm looking into the sky and looking at birds or on branches or trees, or if I'm looking at the actual branches and trees, or if I'm looking at the ground below me, I like taking it all in. And there are some things that I just don't ask why. I just go with the flow. And I can tell you that this is one of the most amazing experiences. So you might have noticed that sometimes in your life you are just drawn to doing something and you don't know why, but you know you've got to do something. I can say that that happened to me when I was coming to Ontario from Edmonton. And I can tell you that I had really thought that all of my life I was going to be in Edmonton. So this was in my teens that I was trying to decide what I was going to do next. And I thought, I've got to go to Ontario. Now, at the time, it was to go into naturopathic medicine, and what a fabulous journey that has been. But at the same time, oh, the things I've learned in Ontario in terms of I love the nature that I see here. I love the temperature that is seen here. Not necessarily a winter because I don't love winter, but there's something about Ontario that, as of now, I'm really enjoying. Like today, I am so happy with seeing all the blooming. And of course, blooming happens in Edmonton too. But there's something that I know was needing to be experienced in Ontario for me. So when I look at it, I think, wow, everything from relationship learning to professional learning, there's so much that has been fabulous about being in Ontario for me at this time. Then I came across another quotation, and it's a bit longer, but I thought it was a profound statement. It's by, excuse me, I'll try to get my voice back, and that's profound in itself, isn't it? The statement says, it's by Dr. Kailan Kumar Chakraborty. The statement says, the most stricken and so also striking handicap is that of the inherent and intrinsic power and potentiality from within. The synergizing combination of drive, affirmation, sincerity, confidence, focus, desperation, seriousness, urge, sense of responsibility, and dignity, and the emerging readiness, the absence of which is prone to paralyze, damage, distract, and destruct the regular pattern of the life route. I love that. I really do think that all of those things that were said, so drive, affirmation, sincerity, confidence, desperation, you might be surprised to see like desperation. I can tell you that when I have known I have to do something, and from forces unseen, it is something so magical in those moments that it never has seemed easy what I know I have to do. Yet, there's such a strong awareness of, I know I have to do this. So even when I had gone to the Eckhart Tolle conference, I knew I had to go to this conference. I didn't know Eckhart Tolle and I didn't know it was his conference even. But the speakers that were speaking at that conference really looked amazing. I hadn't read any of their books, but I knew I had to go. I knew I had to go to visit a friend in Australia that I had never met in Perth. And yet I had known her through a Schnauzer group. Silly, right? But so wonderful. I can tell you that happens with lots of things that I do in life that when I look back and when I was contemplating this morning about, wow, some of these most magical experiences have happened from this sense of knowing that becomes such a a bubbling forth of this has to be done. This is how I have to do this. And then there's a clarity of how it's going to happen. But what happens is so magical too, because it's never an intention of this is what I want to happen. It's just, I just know I have to do this next step. That's as far as I go. And then other steps come. So a lot of times people will think, well, how does a person take the next step? And this morning I'd read about the idea of driving in the dark and being only able to see as far as the headlights show you, and yet you get to your destination. And this is what I think about spirituality too, that we can only see so far, but at the same time, there's something that draws us there. And this is truly a magical experience. I do feel that meditation helps a lot in getting to that centered spot. Now, young in life, I wasn't meditating, but I was definitely probably doing very mindful focus on little things that I was interested in. So even if it's, some artwork, or if it was writing or reading, or whether it was just really paying attention to a flower, I was doing those things, and it was probably opening up enough space in my mind to draw me to the next step that I was wanting, desiring, choosing, or driven to take. I really feel that there is something about our life purpose that comes through us if we have that space to be drawn to it. So today I'd love for you to sit down for 5 minutes and think. Can you think of one time in your life where you didn't know why you were going to go in a particular direction or why you needed to take a particular step, but it was so strong that I really want to do this. I know I've got to do this. I know it. That feeling is a fantastic feeling. So I'd love for you to think and reflect on that today for 5 minutes and get ready for the next time where you feel that urge, because it is a magical space. I'd like to finish this video with one more quotation, and it's by one of my favorites. It's St. Francis of Assisi. And this says, "A single sunbeam is enough to drive away many shadows." A single sunbeam is enough to drive away many shadows. And so a lot of times I find in my life, and I suspect you'll find in your life, there can be a lot of, could be fears, it could be worries, it could be concerns and anxieties, and yet only one bright spot can pull you out of all of those shadows into the space you are destined to go to. So I wish you a fantastic day ahead with that thought and hopefully reflective time. And I hope you remember, transform your mind and transform your life. Have a great day, everyone.